Hey everyone, and welcome to The Witcher 2 Lorethrough. We just got ourselves to the Ballistae, which every time we use this, there's an interesting quick time event, quote unquote, we're gonna get attacked again by some people who are not happy that we're cocking this ballista. As you do, you know, gameplay. Hi friends. Don't know why they all don't just come at once, but
stand your ground!
slap it, slap it. Okay, at this point I'm just used to Dark Souls rolls and I'm not even joking. I just expect a Dark Souls immediate roll, but it doesn't happen. Ah, you know what? It's close enough. Oh. I'm gonna slap your sword out of your hands, you know that, right? You know that's a possibility for me to do that, right? Because, you know, considering... Geralt, not Geralt though. Geralt, why don't you just do that? Damn you, Geralt. You weirdo. Alright, let's get back to that. Put your sword away, Geralt. You gotta do some little ballista aiming, which he for some reason is very, very good at as a witcher. You know, witchers and ballista. It's a common combination. Oh no, it's another night.
Blasphemous!
Blasphemous! But I just wanted to slap you. Jinsey, this is not The Witcher 3. Stop. I know that. I know that. I know that. I know it's not The Witcher 3. Stop behaving like it is then. Okay, sorry. Doesn't he look dashing in his raven's armor, which will be absolutely useless very soon into the game? Yes, he does. You wondering about the pants?
Storm the tower! The
pants
gods are with us!
The pants look good with the other armor, the Blue Stripes armor, but just not that much with the Raven's armor. Actually, you know what? Hold on. Hold on. Hold on. I'm gonna just switch them out. Because this will take a while for me to get used to again. Oh, Jinsey, you just did the same thing again. Inventory, Jinsey. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna switch it back because you know what? It was more important than having very good gear. You know, controls that are not convoluted. Okay, yeah. I am slowly remembering why I was always playing this with a keyboard and not with a controller. Slowly but surely. I'm still gonna do it though. Oh no, there are more. I am surprised.
Blasphemous!
If you're wondering, B is roll in different games, so I'm continuously pressing B when I don't mean to, and that's where all the signs are coming from. I apologize for nothing. Hi! I feel like he might have forgotten that I was here. I won't blame him. I am still just getting used to controls again. Well, not even again. Never used a controller for this. Up you go, Geralt. Up you go, Geralt. There we go, Geralt. Hello, Geralt. I was gonna stand here and do sword techniques. From behind! Hold on, let me just quickly, no, not like this. Oh, I wanted to practice my targeting, okay. And by practice, I mean find the button. Hello, Your Highness. Oh, good to see you.
Clear!
Was it this one?
Follow me!
No, was it this one?
First man
Was
to
it
the
this
tower
one?
will
Oh, it's
never
this one.
want for wine.
You might see me switch back to keyboard at one point, just cause, but for now, here we are. That was a sturdy one. Quickly, get the axes.
The door! Smash the door! Axemen! Give me splinters!
Give me splinters! So angry. Alright. I'm not dealing with the big guy yet, okay? My favorite thing! Hitting people with the other side of my sword. You dipshit. Oh. Very rude. Very rude. No, 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 no. I was stopping the other guy. You don't even understand me. Oh no, he's doing a thing. Hold please. Hold please! There you are. We're actually gonna go to... Not this, not this, not this, not this. Oh god, I am so tempted to just go keyboard. Shall I just go keyboard? I'm just gonna go keyboard. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. It's just this is just not my favorite thing. I'm gonna turn that off actually. Just like this. I tried, okay? I tried, but it's just not made for it. It's not made for it. Ah, that's better. Oh, that's much better. Ah, yes, I can just click things. I can press Q for my signs. Oh, I feel so much better already. Hello. I can just use my mouse buttons for attacks very loudly. I am weak. I want to have your stuff, please. And this one. Yeah, and this one as well, actually. Let's all go up together, guys. Go on. There we go. I feel much more comfortable already. For no apparent reason. Always the archers, man. Always the archers.
Desist! Or be put down like the rabid dogs you are! Aryan La Valette, this will be no easy task. Surrender, Aryan! You'll be treated with honor! Go plow yourself, King! Bury them in arrows! Come on, men! For Temeria!
They're well shielded.
You got a better idea?
Always.
I'll try to get inside. It shouldn't be hard if the archers provide cover.
That's the son of Louisa and the old Baron, heir to these lands. He's hot-tempered but good with a sword. Be careful.
I'll try to reason with him.
Cover the Witcher!
With my sword. We're not leveling up yet. Come on, we're playing on normal mode. We shouldn't have to.
La Valette!
Hello! Goodbye!
Death to the tyrant! Death to Foltest!
Death to being good with swords! Death to all of that! Geralt, you'd be a bit faster than that. Come on, I taught you better in Witcher 1, didn't I? Yes, I did. Hello, friend! My Quen seems to have run out, but it doesn't matter, because he just literally walked into my sword. Just walked into it. Come on. Casually climbing up while no one bothers me. For no apparent reason. I'm a Witcher, but not gonna bother with that. And don't worry, we're not gonna kill poor old Aryan. You don't like that ending.
The famed Geralt of Rivia. You've fallen low, Witcher. Word has it you're one of the best swordsmen in the north. Time to test that rumor.
Can you see the bloom on his face? Making his face basically white.
Enough slaughter. Surrender and Foltest will treat you and your men with honor.
And what guarantee is there that he'll not cut us down to the last?
None.
Foltest defiled my mother. Now he colludes with Nilfgaard.
The king leads an army. You have but a few brave men and your honor. In a minute you may lose even those. Choose.
Hear that, men! The king sends a Witcher and we are to surrender, forgetting the very nature of honor and pride. We must choose. Shame or a Witcher's sword. Is that how you would live? Will you bow your heads before Foltest?
Never!
You heard them, Witcher.
It's not how that goes, my dude.
Don't be a fool. This is no game. Your men don't need to die. Surrender, and the king will show mercy.
My mother has seen enough of this king's mercy.
What'll you do? Throw yourself on my sword? Run?
He made mother a harlot, then denied her before all the realm.
True enough. But no massacre, no misguided heroism will change that. Drop your weapons.
Should anything happen to my mother, I shall find you and kill you.
It's very easily persuaded.
Aryan La Valette laid down his sword. Well, well.
Have you spoken to him?
Briefly. Just before they took him off to the torture chamber. The hard luck of a traitor. Continue.
Yeah, so that is the lenience that they showed him. Okay, so the other ending, or the other choice you can make is to kill him. If you kill him, obviously he's not here, but someone else is. I'm not going to tell you what happens then yet, because you'll see. But yeah, you actually kill him. You don't beat him into submission or anything. No, you kill him or you let him live. That's the only option. But letting him live turns out better for you in The Witcher 3 eventually. Mostly.
While I remember, what happened to the dragon?
It destroyed half the castle. Killed hordes of soldiers and flew off.
Where?
In the general direction of Edon.
To think it almost killed us all.
Aryan La Valette has surrendered the castle. Open up!
And the Baron lives?
Yes, he lives. I'm not spiteful. Open this gate, kneel before your king, and I shall show you mercy.
Looks like we're stuck.
Indeed, and my magic's no good here. The main force down in those boats is going to beat us to town.
Want to head back to the tent? The camp will be nice and empty now. I've had enough for today.
Tempting. Look, the King's special forces.
We want to see him!
You doubt my words, dog. Open the gate now!
I shouldn't laugh at that, but it's pretty funny. Hi, Roach.
Sire,
Vernon Roach. Tell me, Roach.
there's fighting in the town. A section of our forces crossed the river in fishing boats and swarmed the streets, burning, raping, pillaging. The La Valettes are making a stand near the temple.
What of the Baroness?
Alive and safely tucked away.
Unsoiled, I hope.
As you ordered, sire. She's fine. And beautiful as ever. The children were not with her.
But you know where they are.
In the monastery. But we've yet to penetrate that area.
I'll do some penetrating then, won't we?
Cross,
Sorry.
quickly!
Protect the king!
I know, dead people. Okay, this part is a little annoying because it's basically just a whole line of quick time events.
Dragon! Take cover! To the hoardings!
Protect the king!
Protect the
For the
king!
hoarding!
Protect the king!
Give my leg for a heavy crossbow right now.
Would ya?
It's a dragon!
But would ya
I
though?
can't believe it!
Marigold, stop admiring it and do something!
It's not that simple!
It's not that
Before
simple.
the brute turns my army to cinders!
Yeah, but it's
Dragon!
not.
Take
It's not that.
cover!
Not
To the
that
hoardings!
simple.
You don't.
I'm
You
trying
run.
to.
Some professional you are.
We've got to get to the town.
Nobody
We might stand a
appreciates
chance
Geralt.
there.
Is it true you witches don't hunt dragons?
Mm-hmm.
Huh. This one doesn't seem to know that.
Do you want me to go over and tell him?
No idea. You're the monster expert.
Come here. Kill all the things.
Blasphemers!
Kill all the things.
Back up! I'll open the gate! Quickly!
In the parties then, definitely don't ever go through the second...
For long. Call the Arbalists!
Don't go through the second part of the wooden frames.
I can teleport myself, but...
Triss!
But not you!
The bridge is burning! Quickly, this way!
Well, quickly. I mean, we're more like jogging in the minute, but... Okay, this part is really annoying. I ain't gotta be this way. Why I gotta be so rude? Now don't worry, she'll be back.
Plowing dragon nearly reversed the course of the battle.
The fighting should have scared it off.
Forget the dragon. I need to hear how this story ends.
When you're in the middle of a conversation, you're like, I forget the dragon! Who cares? Talk about mundane crap instead!
You were at my side almost all the time after the bridge collapsed.
Almost. Tell me how you got into the monastery courtyard.
Because he couldn't. Poor Roach. He doesn't have a face on the left, poor guy.
Ha! And they said we couldn't get near the walls. Half a day and the town is taken.
Report! Fighting for the castle continues, and a group of rebels have barricaded themselves inside the monastery.
What of my children?
Likely in the church as well, sire. Fen took a priest to task, finally mumbled something about a passage neath the walls.
It would take a week to get a battering ram in here.
Axes, sire?
That will also take time. But what other course do we have? This priest. What of him? What of this passage?
I fainted before I could really get going on him. He's under guard below.
You've some work to do, Commander.
Yes, sire. Silas, you look to this door. Fen, come with me.
Witcher.
Your Grace.
I've a mission for you, one suited to your abilities. Vernon can be persuasive, but he's also hot-tempered, at times losing both his self-control and his subject. You must try to find this other passage on your own. Succeed, and you'll be the envy of all Vizima.
Again, you know, because he's made this promise several times already.
Soldiers loyal to the La Valettes would never harm the Baroness's children.
I shall be reassured as to that when I see them, not before. We must act quickly. The rebels are dispersed, in disarray. As dim-witted as they are, I fear they could conclude the children would make good hostages.
And they do, yes.
Maybe Roach will get something out of this priest. It's a relatively large town. I could use a hint.
I'm counting on him. But time is of the essence. Please explore the area. We seek a tunnel or something similar. Beware of traps. They may have planted some. You're best suited to this. My men lack your skills.
He's calling them dim-witted now.
All right, I'll go.
I'm relying on you, Witcher.
Even though he was also relying on Vernon Roach.
Move your asses!
Right, so there are a few things that we can do in this town still outside of just finding the place. First of all, we're going to equip our proper Raven's armor. These are still fine, right? Yes, they are. And the most important one is where you get an upgrade to Persuasion one way or the other. And that is in a house.
Would you release us,
Why would
soldiers,
they
sir?
Not
bring in a
here.
witcher?
Although
Shut
I
it.
think we can also do something with that
innocent.
later on.
The king will decide your fate.
Steal things? I would like some orans, to be honest. Yeah, I'm pretty poor. No whole lot, though.
My thumb! What will I do without a thumb?
Without a son or a son?
God help us!
Very rude.
What have you done to her?
Shut it.
Time.
These people are
This one.
unarmed.
This is not your concern. Get lost.
But it is. Okay, so you gotta remind yourself here every time you do this, whatever option you pick here, you get an upgrade to it. Like this one you will always make. You will always make this persuasion check. So in The Witcher, during conversations, you can use your Axie sign to persuade people to change their mind. You can just be intimidating, or you can use logic to do that. But, you know, Who cares about logic, really? So either we're gonna axie the hell out of people, or we're gonna tell people to get out or die. And to be really honest, you get the best reactions by being very intimidating, because the axie ones are just people nodding and going, yes, you are totally right. Which can be pretty funny at times, but it's not that interesting. You know what's gonna happen, so this one's funnier.
Get out of here now, or you'll leave when I feed your corpses to the stray dogs.
This one's got murder in his eyes.
Let's go.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Right, so if you tell them help comes with a price, obviously you get paid, but if you say take care of yourselves, you meet them later, so, and they still pay you for it. So, always take care of yourselves, because it also gets you more experience.
Be careful. You may not be so lucky next time. Find a place to hide.
I must find my wife first. They herded her away with others like cattle.
Good luck.
Okie dokie. So that got us... Hold on. I gotta get used to these keybinds again. Ho ho ho. I think it was C. Yeah, okay. Nope. Nope. No. No. No, that's an M. That's the journal. Jinsey. It's one of these. You know it is. Oh, no, not that one. Clearly not that one. Stop pressing J. I know you really want to, but you can't. Ugh. Find it. See, now it would actually be nice to use my controller again, but... Can we just move it on instead? Oh, goodness sakes. Hold on, let me find it. Ah, the tortures of controls. Oh, they can't even show you that here. Oh, that's even worse. Well... I'll just tell you without showing you, I guess. I'll figure out the keybind for it later. We gained a level of intimidation. So now we're better at intimidating. Later on in the game, you're going to find there's this moment near the chapter. Like, I'm just going to call it chapter 1. But chapter 1, where you get this check as well. And the only one that works is the one that you've already upgraded. And the other ones don't really work, or they have a very low chance. At least for me, they never worked. So always choose the one that you're already very good at. And save before persuasion checks. Obviously. No, I think not.
You've no business here!
Oh, yes, I do. I'm literally here on command of the king.
Leave them alone. They're innocent.
Innocent? They're with the La Valettes. Weeds that need to be ripped out with their roots so they won't grow back again. Treason spreads like the plague. No one will leave here alive. And you, stay out of this.
So this guy we can fight.
I won't stand by while you murder innocents.
So, what'll you do?
Kill you.
Just like that.
I was not after your blood. I have witnesses.
No, you were after other people's bloods, which is honestly just as bad. Or, you know, worse, because they can't even fight back. Whereas you clearly can.
Mercy.
Just choose not to.
Let the people out and walk away.
Unblock the door! I'll report this.
Oh, you do that.
Yeah, you do that.
At this point, I'm just answering, unbeknownstly already
Burn
answering what
anything
Geralt's
or
gonna
touch
ask.
a single woman, you sons of bitches, and the king will hear of it.
Yeah, man. Got him. Okay, is everyone happy now? Mostly. Was it even? Hold on, I gotta steal things. Ah, lovely. Listen, I think you're underestimating how much money one needs to, you know, not die. They already move everything away. Yes, they did. How awful. Why would you lock that? Why would you ever? Hi.
Leave us be!
Wow, rude.
You're free.
Thank you, my lord.
Be careful, kids.
Find a place to hide until this madness ends.
But where?
Yeah, it's a very good question. One I honestly cannot answer.
What shall we do now?
I also do not know what you're gonna do now. I'm pretty sure that's all the check-up quests that we can do here. Now there's a cart that we need to find. I'm sorry there's not a whole lot of lore here, honestly. But we'll get to it eventually.
Are they springing from their graves?
Yes, they are springing from their graves. Probably. Considering all the things you make up about them, they probably do that too. Were you just trying to slap me? That's not how that works. Hold on. No? Okay, you're already dead. Hello, dead
Block
person.
the passage, quick!
Oh no, now we can't go through there. That's awful. But the actual way to the temple is all the way in the back where we started, so... But if you go there, then obviously you're not gonna miss some quests, so... Do your little round. Don't be lazy. Do your little round.
They burned down our homes, made off with everything else. God, why?
Because it's war, and that happens in war. I know it sucks, but I mean, these are the medieval times, basically,
And now,
so...
whore sons, you'll answer for treason.
Very
so
rude.
many men will die, all because of one bitch.
That's not how that
So
works.
many men will die, all because of one bitch.
Still not how that works.
They're at our mercy.
Are they, though? Oh, I just tried to attack a hen for no real reason.
So many men will die.
That's very
all 'cause of
rude.
one bitch.
Hi! I already
Would you
fought you.
answer,
How'd you
soldier,
feel?
sir?
Shut it.
We're innocent.
The king will decide your fate.
Will they, though? Because you've been trying to kill people left, right, and center, so...
They're at our mercy.
I wouldn't trust it either! Just in general. Right. I mean, sorry. I mean, slashing should technically also work, but... Game logic and all that. Hi! We're just randomly guarding
We can repel them!
a well for no real reason. Unless they knew about the secret passage, which means it's not that secret at all. You guys are lying to me. Why are you lying to me? I feel like I'm missing something, but I can't remember. I mean, obviously you're very dead. I feel like I'm missing something. What am I missing? I'll probably think of it later on and then completely forget to tell you afterwards. As I do. Well, down we go, Geralt. I bet you're enjoying this view. Oh my gosh, it's a dark space and I can't see a thing. Okay, I will say that the cat vision in The Witcher 1 was probably the best one. Just throwing that out there. In The Witcher 2 and 3, I actually don't really like the way they work. I also don't really need it here. Hi. Why are you drowning? Come here. Come here. Come here. Am I even using my silver sword? I don't think I am. I think I'm not using my silver sword. Can I say that? Oh, I must be.
Damn, you're ugly.
No, I'm totally not. I'm totally not using my silver sword. Here. That's awful. See, then you import a save file to get a silver sword and you don't even use it! Why are you so bad at games, Jinzi? Why? Yeah, give me those orns. And nothing else. Loot? No loot. We don't do loot. Nope, no loot. I mean, it is technically the tutorial area, so I shouldn't be too surprised. But still. More drowners? More loot? More loot. Ah, see? Always pays to check. You'd wonder if these catacombs have lore. They do not. I wish. That'd be pretty interesting. However, we are about to meet... Or, well... Meet might be a big word. But we're about to first lay eyes on the people that we're gonna follow around this playthrough. I know, I know. That already gives it away, but... I'm just saying. Actually, I should probably collect a few drowner brains. Morbid as that sounds. Sorry, X, of course. Q, of course. Why? It's a jump scare right there. You're not supposed to be there, my guy. And now we put the sword away. And we loot the brain. I said we loot the brain. Okay, or not. You know. Or not. I said okay, you're just gonna disappear. If you thought only The Witcher 1 had any kinds of bugs, nope. Still here. Oh no, it's locked. Yeah, there's actually where is it? Where are you? Where are you? I'm pretty sure that's not it. Wasn't there a You're gonna forever hear me say, wasn't there and then there isn't, and then you're like, what does she mean? And then I'll think of it and like at like 3 at night, I'll wake up and it's like, that's what I forgot. That's my life. Get up, Geralt. Enough of this lollygagging. Thankfully the hatch also magically opens, so just in case. Okay. We're gonna see it once we walk out of here, so alright, he's gonna talk about it too, because he hates them.
Scoia'tael.
Scoia'tael. Let's say it like it's a dirty word, Geralt. I mean, it technically is in the Witcher world, but don't say it like that, man. Don't be like that. Okay, there's another dude to fight here. Yeah, there he is. Blasphemers!
Blasphemers!
Ah, all these blaspheming blasphemers. Oh no, I missed.
Blasphemers!
Blasphemers! And the wall. Blasphemers in the wall. Okay, thank you. I'm gonna take your stuff now. Oh, never mind. You will disappear through the wall. You know, it's... I'll stop being surprised. Now that's just the way it is. You know, when I first played through this game, I literally looted everything that was here. You probably know this. If you've ever seen me do a first playthrough of anything, you see me loot everything. But everything is basically just leather and there's a bunch of rocks as well. I do want the amethyst dust right now. And everything is super heavy, so you're going to be over encumbered by the end of it. So don't do that. Don't be me. Don't do what I do. Just take the amethyst. Because those are kind of expensive. Up you go then. Oh, for 4 more fighting. Go on then. I want to see a nice finishing move again. Yes, I do. Oh no, I cut his legs, the poor bastard. This is why we can't have nice things. This is why we can't have nice things. But we can have a nice view. Yeah, a nice view. I mean, the bloom is all over the place. I might actually turn that off, but it looks nice. I'm gonna take your orens. I gotta go for more fighting. Go on, more fighting. Arrgh! You know, there's a lot of people here for some reason. Considering your town is burning and all that. You'd think that maybe they'd go outside every so often to try and help people, but no. Okay, fine, I'll turn the sword in. God, let me open the door already. Geralt, open the door! You need to do more fighting!
Onward! Attack! For the
Baroness! You're not even here, man. Slap? No, slap. He actually hurts on hard mode.
To die for Temerius, to die a good death!
That's from your perspective, Foltest. It doesn't quite count. Does not quite count.
Blasphemers!
Blasphemers! But, what about nah? Okay, I'll just wait till my iron's back up. Go on. Also, something you probably want to know in this game.
Knights. They're traitors! Take no prisoners!
Foltest, stop complaining! If you have your... Wow. Oh my god, what are you called again? Quen up? If you have your Quen up, I don't actually want to use Quen. If you have your Quen up, your magic bar does not regenerate. So, if you're gonna use any kind of magic, don't have your Quen up. Counterproductive? Probably, but... You know, these are the first few episodes, so I'm just explaining things. Give me my stuff. Now, I don't want to turn the wheel yet. I want to take worn leather gauntlets. For no real reason, because I already have the herbalist gauntlets, but at least I have them! Clicking very fast. Gameplay. Oh, fuck out. Oh, I didn't even change my pants! I'm about to change my pants again, but I gotta change my pants anyway. Sorry, gotta look good for the camera. You know, because I can't do that in real life. Hi guys.
You have just become the most titled witcher in the world.
No, I haven't.
And the wealthiest.
I'll remind you of that when this is all over, sire.
See, Vernon? Geralt succeeded.
Lucky he did. The priest was downright discourteous and went off to meet his gods.
He did.
I saw Scoia'tael on the river.
Where? How many? What colors did they wear?
Plough the elves.
I would.
We'll tend to them later. The monastery awaits.
Vernon hates elves so much. And even then, he doesn't hate them as much as the rest of his party does for some reason. Save for
Scoia'tael.
Vess.
This puzzle is beginning to come together, Geralt. You're either telling the truth or weaving a very convincing lie. I want to hear the rest. Foltest bastards. The Solar. What happened?
Well, let me tell
We
you.
might have arrived at the same time if not for Tales.
Be specific, Witcher.
Well, the Archpriest told the truth.
His Majesty King Foltest of Temeria.
Arthur Tales, erstwhile Count of Nesvelt. I signed your sentence.
Yes, yet the Baroness saw fit to pardon me. An awkward situation, to be sure.
Anais and Boosie, where are they?
The royal children.
Don't test my patience, Tales, and I'll grant you a quick death.
Confess, Foltest, before the gods and the people. Boosie and Anais are the fruit of your loins. Bow to the gods and admit the truth.
You may not have noticed, Tales, but I just took this town.
Aided by murderers, sorcerers, and a mutant for whom nothing is holy.
This is hallowed ground. You will not raise your hand against a servant of the gods.
Okay.
Where have you taken the children?
The Solar. They're in the Solar.
What is this? Blasphemy! Sorcerer's tricks!
Yeah, so, Hex failed, but it didn't. I don't know why that is. That always happens, even if your Hex fails. Hey, he still tells you. He still tells you. So, you know, we're gonna slap Tails. Slap Tails!
Holy man unharmed and the noble gets slapped. A win-win situation, if ever I've seen one.
See, I don't actually hate Roach.
Damn,
People think I do,
I've
but I
seen
don't.
assaults go awry, but the dragon topples them all.
Tops.
Mutant. Freak.
From the floor.
Tops what?
Well, tops all.
Damn nonsense. Geralt, you should know. Is it possible to tame a dragon?
This is an even worse part, by the way. And also, if you're wondering, I don't think Tails has any background in the books, but I'll check for you. I don't think so, though. I don't remember his name at all. So
Not
I
as
don't
far
think
as
so.
I know.
Hi, I'm just gonna interject here real quick because there was in fact something about Tails. And there's a bit too much to actually put it in a little notation, so I'm just gonna talk about it here real quick. Right, so Tails was in fact something of a knight's companion, and Geralt at one point left the Temple of Melitele and ran into Tails and a knight Folwick, and they were still part of the White Rose at that point, not the Flaming Rose, that didn't exist yet. And Geralt had insulted them, of course, as he does, so they demanded a duel. Folwick said, okay, Tails, you're gonna have a duel, and Geralt, you're gonna lose, because if you lose, then Tails can say, hey, I beat a Witcher, and I'm really good at everything now. And you're not allowed to beat him, because if you beat him, then we're gonna find you, we're gonna kill you, we're gonna arrest you, and all that. And they were accompanied also by a dwarf called Dennis Cranmer, and they were all working for the lord of that area, basically the princeling guy, whatever. And Geralt says, okay, so that's kind of a terrible choice, but he went along with it anyway, and they had a little duel. But Geralt, smart guy as he is, didn't actually touch Tails, he just sort of danced around him, and eventually Tails, who was so bad at sword fighting, that he dropped his sword and literally fell into it, got that scar that you see on his face. That's because of that. He literally put the sword to his own face. And that way, Geralt didn't beat him, because Tails beat himself with his own sword. And Dennis Cranmer agreed with that, and the White Rose couldn't really contest that, because Dennis was directly working for the Lord. So, Geralt got away with that, but Tails and Folwick really, really hated him after that. And Tails actually does come back as well in The Witcher 3, but right now I'm pretty happy to know that at least Foltest also does not agree with this guy because the guy's an idiot. Okay, so that's who Tails is. We did in fact meet him. He was a total tosspot. So good for him. And always punch him in the face because he's not a good person. Alright, okay. We got all that. Okay, moving on.
Then why is this reptile eating only my men?
Let's hope Marigold got out of there.
I'm sure she did.
I'm sure she did.
The dragon's back! I
Quick
can't...
time! More quick time! And then we leave. And then we lose the sword. Because, you know, witches don't like swords anyway.
You saved my life again. Ask what you will of me, Witcher. Within reason, of course.
I need to leave, sire. I'd like Triss Marigold to come with me, if she wants.
Are you blind? She's enamored with you. You may leave, and none shall stop you. You have my word.
I'm stopping every so often because otherwise I'm going to interrupt his talk because I'm going to go into the solar. But yeah, so because I imported obviously my swords. Normally, if you have no import file, you have no swords at the start at all. There are no swords, or no, well, no swords. You don't have a silver sword, I should say. So at that point, you just lose it. And if you want to fight people, if you want to fight monsters, oh, you gotta use your normal sword. It's great.
Who goes there?
Foltest. I've come for my children. Geralt, wait here. You might scare them.
Ah, thanks be to the gods. My prayers are answered. Go, Boosie.
That's not my father.
But it is your king, boy. Bells, your triumph is complete. The city and fortress taken, sire. Time to thank the Forefather and the Mother Creatrix for this great victory.
A moment, blind man. I've not seen my children in 6 months. The gods can spare another minute. Listen to me. Your mother and I quarreled, but that is over. She was deceived. Evil men turned her against me. These men have been punished, and all will be well from now. No tears, Boosie. One day you'll be king, and kings do not weep.
Armed men approach, sire. Children, go to the refectory.
My knights will soon be here. You must meet them, for one day you will rule them. Boosie, go wash your face. They must not see that you wept.
There's a bucket of water in the next room.
Anais, help your brother.
Sire, Let us pray.
They must look like the royal children they are.
They have your eyes, sire.
I suppose that's the extent of what you'll give me.
Does this mean I'm free?
Foltest, King of Temeria, has been murdered. Unfortunately for you, you're the only suspect.
The murderer outsmarted you, so I'm to rot in this dungeon.
Oh, no danger of you rotting. You'll hang.
Convince them otherwise.
I have no influence over the court.
Right, so a few things. I have a few things to say about Anais, but not yet because there's still stuff that will happen throughout the Witcher, obviously. I always thought this was hilarious because the fact that Foltest just sort of walks off with him just like that and doesn't think anything of it, and Geralt doesn't actually accompany him after the kids are already gone, and the kids are clearly not scared of Geralt, so it was a bit convoluted. And also the fact that Letho then jumps out of the window. Just completely unrealistic image for any Witcher out there watching, because we all know that in The Witcher 3, Geralt dies when he falls off a small incline. So, you know, Geralt has brittle bones. Apparently, Letho does not. How did that work? I don't know. I'm pretty sure Letho can actually fly. He says, obviously he's being helped to do that, but no one's gonna help you fly, so. Just saying.
Foltest told me a lot about you.
If not for him, I'd be a drunk or a vagrant. Foltest did more for me than my father ever did. But then my father did exactly nothing, for I never even met him. In any case, I'll not rest until the murderer is punished.
Tell me how you serve, Vernon.
I carry out orders others are incapable of executing.
Yeah, you know, like killing a whole lot of elves. It's not really a spoiler. Vernon and his blue stripes are basically just elf killers. That's their job. They go around, they find Scoia'tael units and they kill them. And they also went to Mahakam. And in the books, basically, there's a Braverhoog who rules Mahakam at that point, and he's also a Scoia'tael leader in Gwent, which is highly ironic, because Braverhoog actually... I'm just gonna call him Hoog. I'm sorry, it's Dutch. Braverhoog. He rules Mahakam, and they have this super strict system of either you follow the laws or you get kicked out, or worse, you know. So that's why a lot of dwarves leave Mahakam. Maybe you're wondering that. Why are there so many dwarves that leave Mahakam? Isn't it safe there? Isn't there a thriving economy? And yes, there is, but you have zero freedom. There's no freedom in Mahakam. So Braverhoog, saying it Englishy again, Braverhoog at one point, during the Scoia'tael rebellions and all that, basically said everyone who goes away from Mahakam, every free dwarf is a traitor, is a useless, a loiterer, a lollygagger, and just disowned them. As long as you weren't living in Mahakam and doing everything their way, then he said, oh, sod it, you can die. He literally did not care. So even the dwarves that were basically living just outside of Mahakam, or the people that were thinking of maybe joining the Scoia'tael, Brailsford did not care about them. And Roach and his people, a whole lot of more people obviously, went to Mahakam and they pacified it. So all the dwarves that were unruly elements, shall we say, were killed. Just like that. And Braverhoog was just like, oh yeah, that's great. That's wonderful. You know why? Because he didn't want other dwarves to leave, because that impacted his wallet. Literally, he wasn't making money off of the dwarves that were leaving. That's the only reason. So the fact that Braverhoog is a Scoia'tael leader in Gwent is the most ironic thing in the world, because he is super, super anti-Scoia'tael. Yeah, and Roach was a part of that. I thought that might be interesting to know. Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. I just thought I'd tell you.
What's the situation in Temeria?
The Council of Regents has convened to restore order. That means 3 things. Utter chaos will prevail, Visima will run dry of wine and strong drink, and the local whores will make a killing.
Is Triss participating in the meetings?
Indeed. Only to find out that she's no longer needed.
How do you know?
It's my business to know.
They want to run a kingdom without a sorceress?
They already have a kingdom without a king. They'll use every opportunity to get rid of her.
Who will rule?
The chief contenders are Count Maravel and Baron Kimbold, who already tussle for control of La Valette Castle.
What about Foltest's bastards?
The king's blood runs in their veins, so yes, they are entitled to the throne. Not some drooling nobles.
Pretty sure we killed Kimbold, but sure.
What if someone vouched for me?
You have a witness.
I was thinking of Triss.
Was she not your lover? Who knows? But it's common knowledge she is.
What happened to her?
Oh, she's fine. She's been invited to the next meeting of the Council of Regents.
Yeah, but we already talked about that.
For fuck's sake, you command the Blue Stripes. Do something. The real murderer is free, and he's further and further away with every hour you spend prancing around in here.
I find the Killer Monk story unconvincing.
I don't claim he was a monk. He was wearing a frock, though. He sailed off in a boat with some Scoia'tael.
Would you recognize him?
No problem. A mountain of meat. Never seen anyone bigger.
Also really good at undressing very, very quickly. By just doing... Thinking.
What would you do if you escaped?
I'ma hunt down the killer.
I'd go after the Kingslayer.
You know where to look for him?
Some Scoia'tael helped him escape. That's where I'd start. I expect you might know this particular group of elves.
How'd you work that out?
They wore blue-striped masks. Trophies, I expect.
Iorveth's commando. I know where to find them. We've a trail to follow after all.
If you want to start over and take it easy this time, get me some food.
Now that you mention it. Vess! Bring us food and drink.
For the 2 seconds, we're still gonna sit here.
Shame you didn't think of that earlier.
It's your own fault, Geralt. Your fate is in your hands.
He's very quick.
Thank you.
Very slowly to react to. Thank you, though. Plain sausage. And whatever that is. Probably alcohol. Sound effects.
Never heard of women serving in the Special Forces.
Vess is one of my best people.
How'd she wind up in the Blue Stripes?
I pulled her from the paws of the Scoia'tael. Just 16 when they torched her village and slaughtered everyone. The unit commander took a liking and spared her.
Took a liking.
One last thing. This file is about one Geralt of Rivia.
And Foltest's death?
Nope.
Actually, Geralt's death. The report details events from 5 years ago.
We're gonna have a lot of flashbacks this game, by the way. A lot.
Rivia. Population 1,234. In that, 253 non-humans. September the 25th, 1268. A riot erupts. A massacre ensues. The streets run with the blood of elves and dwarves. One person finds the courage to face the raging crowd. During the rioting, 76 non-humans perished, including the witcher Geralt of Rivia. Stabbed in the chest with a pitchfork by a man of whom we know only that his name was Rob, and he owed 3 crowns at the local tavern. Yennefer of Vengerberg dies trying to heal the witcher. The bodies of Geralt and the sorceress are taken away by a mysterious young girl with ashen hair. Their place of internment remains unknown.
I remember. Rivia. Yennefer.
What just happened?
I saw my own death.
And the rest? Have you regained all your memory?
That's all. I just remember the end.
Vess! Interrogation's done. Restrain the prisoner. I'll take the key. I sail upriver at dawn. Guards will collect you in 5 minutes. Eat. You'll need your strength.
Yeah, so the sound on that flashback was remarkably low for some reason. I'll try to edit it so you don't even notice, but I don't know why that is either. But yeah, that's just the final events of the books, which you just saw. It'll start making sense by the end, don't worry. Now we're gonna leave.
Not yesterday, he was a hero pretty much. Everyone's man.
Personally saw him cut down 20 men in the blink of an eye, so it's no surprise.
See him dashing along those walls? Can't rightly say I ever saw his sword the blade move so fast.
I thought that beast would tear him to bits when it came out of the clouds.
Delayed don't mean denied. Hangman'll do that tomorrow. What
think
say
not.
we teach him a lesson for what he did to Foltest?
I'll not touch the scum. I get scurvy.
Right. Hangman'll do it. He's poxy already.
They already touched me.
Guard. Come here, good man.
Why are you hollering? Do that again and we'll shut you up.
You can give it a go.
You wouldn't say that if these bars weren't here.
Is that so? Let's see.
Punching!
Rip your guts out!
Of course you won't. The fist fighting portion of this game. Yes, it's quick times again. Are you glad they removed most of that quick time nonsense in The Witcher 3? Yes. Yes, I am. Yes, I am. I hate quick time events. But I do like the way he punches people in the face. So it kind of makes up for each other, doesn't it? Thanks for the key. I would say if I could loot the key. Thank you. I gotta look good before I end this. Sounds a bit dire when I say it like that, but... Still... I would like my cat potions, the moon rune, and also this. I think I'll find my items further in as well. You have found a weapon upgrade. Thanks, game. I had no idea. I had no idea.
Damn
okay, we'll find
torches.
it.
We can't sneak out in this light.
Of course you can. Look, look, look. You can do this. Yeah.
I should write to Lily, lest she forget me.
Huh? What was that?
Nothing. Absolutely nothing. You can use the cat potion here. Hold on, where are you? Oh no, you have to meditate for that. Oh, of course, this is The Witcher 2. We gotta meditate for things. That we can see him on the map as well. So technically it doesn't even matter. Shall we just meditate? No, we can't do that here. You can't do that right now, but what if I want to? Okay, full disclosure, I have never done this section with stealth. I have never, ever, ever, ever done this section with stealth. I always just punched people in the face. You know why? Because this is The Witcher. It's not a stealth game. Anyway, yeah, we'll do the escaping out of the dungeon in the next episode. I will see you in the next time. Until next time.